go. We're going to be looking at Unit 3, and it's going to be the first list of words on the vocabulary sheet. So when we first look, we're going to see bathroom. Bathroom. Now, there used to be, a long time ago, everybody would be signing this with the T. That really means toilet, okay? I let the kids use that sign because it's one of the few signs that their mother will pick up, and it's for potty. So when they're 2, 3, maybe even if they're around 4, but then around that time, like 5-ish, I want them to go to restroom. It's kind of like 2 legs, and it's just time to go to the bathroom. Restroom. When I sign water fountain, we usually start with the machine. Okay, here it is, machine, because water fountain is a machine. Machine, water. Now, I've also seen some kids go, and they'll push the button. Push the button. Cafeteria. Cafeteria. And you want to be careful because later you'll learn that if I go SC, it means senior citizen. But for now, cafeteria. Cafeteria. Class. Room. Class. You have the 2 walls here, and then the other 2 walls. Library. Now remember, if I add the agent to library, and I go librarian. Librarian. Office, your 2 O's, bring them together. Now you'll notice the difference between room, when you do the 2 walls, and then the other 2 walls, that your hands are still pretty far away. But that's not the case with office. When you take your O's and you pull them in, your arms will be really close together. Telephone. Now telephone is usually for a hearing person. That's a sign that they'll use. Telephone. If they're usually talking about a deaf person, then they're going to go telephone. And telephone can be voiced 2 different ways. Hearing people usually call our phones TDDs, a telephone device for the deaf. Deaf people tend to call it a TTY, which is a teletype system. Make sure your hands are just in one area, because if they pull, it comes off as piano. So this is a TDD, a telephone device for the deaf, or a TTY, a teletype system. I don't see as many deaf people using them anymore, because a lot of them are texting, just like hearing people would text. They text. Bookstore. Now we have the word store, and when we're talking in ASL, okay, we have to decide if a word is a noun or a verb. And in this case, store is a noun. Nouns move twice. Store. Book. Bookstore. Because if I only moved it once, it would be a verb. And if I went book, it would be like to sell the book, or I'm out looking to buy a book, something like that. Elevator. 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 We've already talked about machine. Machine. Make sure your fingers are on the inside like this. See them there? Yeah. Machine. Bed. Room. Bed. Room. Now with kitchen, there's 2 very popular forms of kitchen. There's kitchen, just your K up, and you're shaking it. And then there's kitchen. And this comes from the sign to cook, where you're just flipping something over, right? Cook, and you put your K on it. Now if I also took that sign for cook, and I added the agent to it, chef. Good. Living. Just come right up your chest. Living room. Living room. Garage. You got your number 3. Drive your garage. Yeah, go right into the garage. Table. Just your dominant hand, the top hand moves, not the bottom hand. Table. Let me refresh my screen. Hang on. There we go. House. And I can classify house. There's a little tiny house. Here's a huge house. Home. Take an O and flatten it, like you're doing a sock puppet. Touch it with your mouth and go up to your ear. Home. It's where you eat and sleep. Home. Home. Apartment is abbreviated A-P-T. So apartment looks like this. Dorm is the same as home, only use a D. Start in your mouth and go out. Dorm. So you've got home, dorm, deaf. Home, dorm, deaf, culture. And then the last word on there is north, but I'm going to show you all the directions while I have you on here. North goes straight up, north. I'll move over here. North, south, east, west. So west turns. So north, south, east, west, and that concludes the list that you need to study for this week.